San Antonio and 94.5 FM, KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. Here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. You want to watch us live? It is easy to do. You can go to ESPNSA.com. That's where we funnel in a variety of broadcasts from a variety of platforms, whether it be Facebook or YouTube or others. You can check it there at ESPNSA.com. If you went there right now, you'd see Jason Minix over in the top right-hand corner. I'm Rob Thompson, James Pledger on the other side of the double pane glass, producing us till 6:30. You feeling lucky today, Jason? Feeling you got something like a four-leaf clover in your pocket?
I don't have a four-leaf clover in my pocket. But before the draft lottery begins tonight, I will try to find some sort of good luck charm, although I really don't believe in that. If I only had a bolo tie handy, I might wear one
I
tonight.
would like to think that the bolo tie with the lizard attached to it that Bob Bass wore back in 1987 to secure that number one draft pick that would become David Robinson is under glass, safely ensconced in a corner that young Peter Holt has taken from the glass and traveled to wherever the lottery is going to be held. I don't know where that is. And we'll use it to full strength. Yeah, the lottery is tonight, and Spurs are predicted and expected to land at number 12, but we're saying there's a chance. 1.8%. 1.7. Oh, it's even worse than I thought.
2%.
No, 1.
Less than.
7% chance, but we'll figure it out today. Look at the potential of rising in the draft or staying at 12. We'll look at the potentials, and the names are changing. You know, the Spurs need a big. They need a lot of stuff. They need shooting. Mm-hmm. There's other stuff, but you look at the draft, the lottery itself. You look at the guys that are going to be available. Not a lot of bigs in this draft. Just a couple of 2 or 3. So
there's a lot of really good players, it looks like, in this draft, but I don't know if you have that cornerstone player for the next 10 years in this draft.
Well, not to the Spurs anyway. I think there are I think there are 2 cornerstone players in this draft. I think there's 2 that will, in the long run, greatly affect whatever franchise they stay with.
Being the key word. But there's not a Tim Duncan in this draft.
No, there's not a Tim Duncan, but Cade Cunningham could come close.
Sure. And again, I'm being, I don't want to say negative, but you know, when you've got a less than 2% chance and about an 8% chance of getting into the top 4, it kind of, I kind of feel like earlier today there was the pre-sale for the Foo Fighter tickets that are going on sale for a show in Los Angeles. And I jumped on Ticketmaster, and you wait, and you're in queue, and it says you're in queue, and then finally it pops up, and I think, all right, here we go. And then it says there are 2,000 plus people in front of you. And then, 28 minutes later, when you finally get a chance to look at tickets, you realize, okay, well, let me call John over at Awesome Tickets, because there's nothing available on the pre-sale. And that's kind of how the Spurs lottery is going to go tonight. We might think there's a chance. You might think you've got an opportunity. We're going to pick 12th.
Wow. It's just that kind of attitude that makes you land at 12. You're going to have to, your glass is half empty. I'm saying there's a chance.
I think 12 is a good number for today because a guy who has a jersey number 12 retired at the AT&T Center is, made some news, sort of, maybe, kind of, earlier today associated with us.
He's going to make news with us. Somebody tried to make news of him earlier. Jason's bringing up that Bruce Bowen was cited as offering a statement regarding Pop and his desire or would trade for Ben Simmons. Loves it. Just something to that effect. It was cited by someone on the Twitter sphere. We would love to say that Bruce was on our show and did in fact say that, though he did not. He did not ever say to us that Pop would trade for Ben Simmons today if the opportunity. He didn't say that, but in about 25 minutes or so, he will be on the Blitz with us officially, and we will ask him about Greg Popovich and whether he would love to trade for Ben Simmons. But, more importantly, catch up with Bruce Bowen. Let's just find an old friend who's been busy doing lots of things and has great perspective on the NBA. And no better day to have Bruce Bowen on than Lottery Day as we look toward the Spurs' future.
Yeah, and it was strange because, I mean, it was attributed to the station, but it wasn't on our show. And then I was like, well, I didn't hear about on any of the national shows yesterday, so I don't know when he might have said it. And then the guy that actually put the tweet out said, I found that on Reddit, so it could be made up. Who the hell knows? So we'll ask Bruce about it. But, why not? Since we're getting associated with Bruce, we'll get Bruce on and ask him.
And we'll certainly talk about the Western Conference Finals games tonight. No CP3, no Kawhi Leonard, but certainly a great game to be had. And we'll get you fully ready for it. It's lots of basketball today as Pop has gone into his summer Olympic mode. His team is coming together. We'll give you an idea of everybody that's going to be playing with Pop. The women's team is put together as well. We'll have Dan Hughes on here in the next couple of weeks as the ladies team head off to Tokyo. He's an assistant coach of San Antonio Note and also coaches with the Seattle women's WNBA team.
Used to. He retired from the Seattle Storm, but longtime analyst and head coach, and he's certainly a part of Team USA and the women's team that they have put together. I don't know why the other countries are showing up. There's no way that team loses. I mean, they might win every game by 80.
6 consecutive gold medals in international competition, and they put together a team that the likes of which could take on LeBron and the Toons coming up here at the end of Saturday. And they don't even have Sabrina Ionescu on the roster to give you an idea how talented they truly are. We'll look at Team USA, talk draft, lottery, Kevin Durant's shoe size. Dr. Lane Nauer will join us as we look across the length and breadth of the sporting world and talk injuries. A whole lot to talk about. And Pitbull. Pitbull.
What's going on? It's that Lil Chico Pitbull. Mr. Worldwide to infinity. The roof on fire. We gonna boogie, oogie, oogie, jiggle.
Are we doing fireball shots? What are we doing?
I tell her, baby.
Are we going to do this every time I say Pitbull? He's coming with Iggy Azalea to the Circuit of the Americas. We're going to be giving away tickets. The show itself is September the 12th. You want to go? You listen to the Blitz all week long. We got you tickets. We'll also be giving them away today a couple of times. You need to be aware. I'll give you the best 30-minute window as to when we're going to do it. But you're going to have to listen to the entirety of the show all week long if you want to win these tickets. It's not going to be that easy. We might have feats of strength, but big show coming to the Circuit of the Americas on September the 12th. Pitbull and Iggy Azalea. We want you to go on us. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, air day. Let's go ahead and kick this show off. Coming back, let's look around the lottery. The Spurs have a pretty decent shot at 12. They're going to land at 12 unless something weird happens. Can we affect that? And if they do draft at 12, who would they be getting? We'll talk NBA lottery coming up next. Bruce Bowen will very quickly follow. And then the Globetrotters might actually be on the Spurs schedule.
Stop.
The Globetrotters are asking.
We all have dreams about things that will never happen. This is the Globetrotters' dream.
And we can't quite figure it out, but they have requested in an open letter to Adam Silver to be included in the NBA. To be included in the NBA after 100 years or so of basketball service, they feel like they have earned their right to join the NBA. We'll talk about it and why they might actually be doing it. Coming back, lottery talk. Hang here. You guys are on the Blitz. That's 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, get them fixed. Do us all a favor and get that taken care of. Jason Minix here for New Brakes. NUBrakes.com is the website. They're a mobile brake shop. That means they will come to you to fix your brakes. None of us have time to go spend hours waiting at a repair shop or want to deal with the hassle of dropping your car off and going back to get it the next day. That's the beauty of New Brakes. They will come to you. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs, and they only fix brakes. You're not going to get upsells like at a traditional repair shop. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. They only use premium brake parts, and they do back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. So if your brakes are squeaky or grindy, don't just turn up the radio and hope it gets better. Go to NUBrakes.com, schedule your repair, save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. You need your brakes done? Get them done with New Brakes. Busy at work? just hanging out at the house. You do what you do while New Brakes fixes your brakes, and they're great at what they do. Go read all their 5-star reviews and schedule your repair now at nubrakes.com. That's nubrakes.com.
Sundays are for the grill. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 in the morning to 1. Chop it up and grill with former and current Rock the Mic champs Michael Jimenez and Quinn Hudson. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 to 1 every Sunday.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. While you can't control the quality of the water supply that comes to your home, you can't control the quality that comes through it. And you don't want to wait until you think something is wrong with your water to call Alamo Water Softener. Some chemicals and contaminants are undetectable. Let Alamo Water Softeners come out to your house and give you a free water analysis and a free estimate. You can also get a free reverse osmosis system with the purchase of select new water softeners. You know, I've had a water softener from Alamo Water Softeners in my home for about a decade. Wouldn't live without one. It truly is a life changer. And when you call Alamo Water Softeners, you know you're going to be working with a great locally owned, family-run business by the Townsends, who are great people and great to work with. In fact, on the Nextdoor app, Alamo Water Softeners was voted a 2020 neighborhood favorite. Alamo Water Softeners provides the best value for the highest quality water treatment. You and your family deserve the best water quality, so discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to their website, alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Life hacks. What would life be without them? Like using candle wax to loosen a stuck zipper. Here's another life hack. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to Texas, where your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved averaged $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings from switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Friends, if you're in a job you can't stand or worried your unemployment benefits will be ending, you need to go to mycomputercareer.edu and fill out the free career evaluation form. I've personally spoken to them, and apparently employers are lining up to hire their graduates. In as little as 4 months, you could start your career in the growing cybersecurity and networking fields. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. Tell them Max sent you.
It's the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. We're going to be giving away Pitbull tickets after we are concluding the Bruce Bowen interview, which is in about 15 minutes. Bruce will join us. We'll talk Spurs and NBA life as the Western Conference Finals kick back into gear tonight. I also saw, Jason, that the Adam Silver is talking about changing the rules to kind of make it a little bit fairer for the defense. This free roaming thing of play has kind of gotten out of hand. And Shams Charania of The Athletic released that they're really looking at to kind of closing down some of this free reign that offenses are getting now in the modern NBA. And I'm sure Bruce Bowen is all about that.
Well, I mean, and you think about these rule changes, they're certainly seemingly long overdue. And when you get guys and credit guys like a James Harden who understand the rules and use them to his advantage, but you got to fix that.
Bruce will be on in just a couple minutes to talk about it. In the meantime, the lotteries tonight will be at 7:30 on ESPN. Spurs have a 1.7% chance of reaching all the way to number one, an 8% chance of getting into that glorious top four, where it looks like at least four of these guys in the draft are going to be pretty significant for a while. But, you know, it's just really difficult considering the weight of the odds to jump out of 12th. So the Spurs will probably end up where you want to put an egg under our bed or something like that. I'm completely down with it. You know, looking at the lottery itself, the Spurs are in an interesting position because they certainly need the help, but they need help in so many different places. You wonder, as if they land at 12, you could play the odds and hope the guy that they're hoping for falls to him, whoever that guy is, because I certainly have no idea who the Spurs are chasing. I have an idea who I'd like them to be scouting, but, you know, the Spurs have their types and they'll go find them. Devin Vassell, while we spoke of him in the previous draft lottery, we didn't really think that would happen, and it did. So, and previous to that, who'd have thought Keldon Johnson would have come at the end of the draft instead of at 19 where Luka was. But we expect it to get to, you know, the Spurs are going to be chasing guys, but there's not a lot of bigs. This is not a big, heavy draft. You know, when the Spurs are mentioned, Jason, they talk about the kid from Turkey, Sanguin. I've seen an Aussie dude, Pulley, whatever his name is, that seems to be really shooting up the draft boards. If the Spurs are stuck at 12, Jason, would you make a move? Because there's really not a game changer at 12, but you could find a guy that could be a Spur for 10 years.
Well, and again, I look at, you know, Luka and Keldon, probably the right picks, just in the wrong order. So, I mean, you know, we know that there's value at the end of the draft, and we've got a lot of trust in the Spurs front office to find a guy. And again, Vassell, bit of a surprise, but certainly looks like he's going to be the part. DeJounte was at the end of the first round. So you're picking at 12, which I don't know what to, the Spurs have a lot of options if they're at number 12. And I think one of them is moving away from that pick. With this interesting free agency and the amount of money that they're going to have, do you take that number 12 pick and package it up to get something in a trade, which I wouldn't be unhappy about, depending on who the trade is for. But I do have confidence that Brian Wright and the front office types are going to find somebody that's going to help Austin out in so many ways next year.
Lots of time on the bench. I see more and more Kai Jones because the Spurs need a bouncy big, and Kai Jones certainly is that. But you want to talk about spending time in Austin. He's trying to get out of Austin as quick as possible. The irony there would be he gets to go back and play in a worse stadium where he was playing before.
Renew your lease there. I mean, and you look at that part of it, and I think all Spurs fans kind of have that feeling that no matter who we take, we're not going to see him for a while. And he's going to spend a lot of time tearing up I-35. And I don't know if the Spurs, as part of their rebuild or whatever you want to call it, are at the point where that player is not going to spend a lot of time in Austin. But at number 12, you're not going to get, I wouldn't think, a player that is going to get significant minutes at the NBA level next November, December.
July the 29th is actually the draft day. Tonight is the lottery, and a lot will go on between now and the 29th. And remember, August 1st is basically the end of the year. That's when the contracts expire and things really start to change as far as opting out, opting in, those kind of things. So lots between here and there. We just 656-3776, 656 ESPN. If you have a guy you want, I'm just curious what the pulse of the Spurs community is. There a guy that we should be kind of circled, or is it more of a position of need, and whoever fits that build when we get to 12 or wherever the Spurs stay, is it that? I will contend I want no one shorter than 6'9". You got to be 6'9" to ride, unless there is a shooter that just kind of shows up out of nowhere, and I don't think there's that. Corey Kispert's the one name that seems to be kind of, mentioned when the Spurs are drafting. He certainly comes out of a great program, and he's as experienced as any Spurs draft will have been in years, because he had 4 years there at Gonzaga. But I just don't think that Kispert is the guy, and certainly at 12 seems a little high for him, though I have seen him go a little bit earlier. I want a bouncy big. I want a bouncy big that can learn to shoot threes. I want a rim protector that will first and foremost own the paint, run a good high pick and roll, and get somebody who can rim run, the likes that we're seeing from Collins and Hunter, and you name the point guard big post combos that we've seen through the NBA. And it is the recipe for success. You have to be able to do it. And right now, as good as Pirtle has been in other areas, and his high pick and roll work is greatly improved, it's not to the standards, I believe, that the Spurs are going to need if they're going to be in the same breath as the Nuggets and I believe Phoenix for the foreseeable future. And certainly the Lakers are going to retool. If we're going to match that, it's going to have to be physical ability that is paired with skill. And we don't have that bounce.
No, and again, the big 3-point shooting, they certainly need to find somebody that could do that. And again, this draft, not till July 29th is when the draft is. And by then, will we have a good idea of who's coming back and who's not? And that starts with DeMar DeRozan. What does DeMar DeRozan decide to do? What do the Spurs decide to do when it comes to DeMar? When you look at Rudy, when you look at Patty Mills, there's then what could possibly happen with trades and on the free agent market with all the money that the Spurs are going to have? Do they draft that player, or are they somehow able to land that player, Collins, on the free agent market? Can they work something out with a trade? Is there a sign-in trade with that would include a DeMar DeRozan? And then, of course, I would think that you have to explore the Ben Simmons idea, although I don't know.
You have to.
I mean, it's kind of one of those, it's like Tom Brady coming up on the LeBron show, Uninterrupted, or whatever his show was on HBO, where he's apparently there was another team that he wanted that passed on Tom Brady, and I don't blame, I mean, teams are going to do what they do, but you got to explore the idea, right? If you can get a Tom Brady and see if it's going to work. Yeah, I think the Spurs, no matter what you think of Ben Simmons today, after what you've seen after the last 7 games that he participated in, you still have to look at Ben Simmons and what that trade could look like, whether you do anything or not. But I think you owe it to your organization to at least explore the idea of a Ben Simmons.
You're not doing your due diligence if you haven't or you don't make that call. But I do think that Philadelphia, in the cold, gray light of day, as Robert Earl Keen is apt to say, will reevaluate where they stand. On the outside, they will, on the outside looking in, everybody's saying, well, you can't keep Ben Simmons. He can't exist there anymore. Well, I don't agree with that 2 days after the loss. Let's talk in 2 weeks, 3 weeks after everybody takes a deep breath. But if you're right, of course you make that call. But there's so many There's a lot of barriers there, primarily $140 million worth of money owed to a guy that, quite frankly, no matter where he lands, is going to have to change everything about his game. He's going to have to play a different position. He's going to have to learn to shoot. And he's going to have to learn that he is not going to be the focal point ever again on an NBA team until he picks up some more skill. That's a tough ask for a guy that's been great at what he's done up until 2 weeks ago. Until 2 weeks ago, we had some concerns about Ben Simmons not shooting, but no one wanted him dead. Now he's going to have to rebound from that, and that's not an easy thing to do for a young kid like that.
Although going to a place where he is not going to be the number one, where he's not going to be the superstar, and he could be a role player, maybe that's the best thing for him. A change of scenery. We've seen players leave places and then all of a sudden play incredible somewhere else. And that goes with every sport.
The problem he's going to run into, Jason, is the sheer cost of getting him. Because you're going to have to move something pretty significant to bring a Ben Simmons in. And the expectation is you better be at least as good as the potential of what we let go to get you. And there's not a lot of that out there.
No, the stuff, though, I mean, we've all seen Ben Simmons on the floor, but seeing some of the quotes about work ethic and being babied too much and nothing but family around, seeing some of that, that Stephen A. stuff that was floating around earlier today just gave me Kawhi flashbacks. But again, as the Spurs organization, they have to explore the idea. No matter how far it goes, you have to look at it.
Let's talk with one in the know. That's Bruce Bowen, former San Antonio Spurs, current head coach, and he's coaching Cornerstone's high school team and San Antonio Gadabout. We're going to have Bruce Bowen on next, and we're going to discuss a quote that was attributed to him that happened on our show, evidently, that did not. And to our knowledge, we have never spoken to Bruce Bowen regarding Ben Simmons and Greg Popovich's adoration and desire to trade for him immediately. Bruce will come on and set the record straight, and we'll look at the Spurs from his point of view coming up next. Hang around with us. You're on the Blitz, you lucky devils. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're going to fire up your grill, make sure you get the best sausage for that grill. That is Kielbasa smoked sausage, the kind of sausage you could find in butcher shops back in the old days. And it's because the way they make their legendary smoked sausage at Kielbasa. It's done in small 150-pound batches, only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949 when the company was started here in San Antonio. And Kielbasa, still a great local San Antonio company. Everything they make is made here in town. They're on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meat. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you'll ever eat. Michael Kielbasa guarantees it. If it's not the best sausage you've ever eaten, call him. He'll give you your money back. His number is on the back of every package sold. Kielbasa sausage is now available at Walmart, and you can find Kielbasa sausage, bacon, chorizo, and breakfast links at an H-E-B near you. You're going to fire up the grill. Go get some Kielbasa today.
The NBA playoffs are on ESPN San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. Online at mellowmushroom.com. From the play-in to the finals, we've got you covered. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
At Total Wine & More, we know what pairs perfectly with summer. Go ahead, test us.
Okay, what goes best with a pool party?
A crisp wine, like Rosé or Zinfandel, at a ridiculously low price.
A beach trip.
A tequila or flavored vodka pairs well with sun and sand.
How about right now?
Here, try these ready-to-drink cocktails.
Oh, you're good.
Wondrous selection, helpful guides, ridiculously low prices. Make a splash this summer. Catch the savings wave at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Now's the time to get a great deal on proven Kubota farming equipment, tractors that are adaptable and versatile, hay tools that are backed by a 2-year warranty, and durable Sidekick utility vehicles and SSV skid steers. The Kubota agriculture lineup is built right, built ready. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Thomas J. Henry recently recovered $22 million in a wrongful death trucking case. If you were hurt in an accident, we can help. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim today. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
You can talk keto all you want, but if you don't have a team of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the diet marathon. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have these big, bold flavors that kick your taste buds into high gear. Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill and more. Eat them right out of the bag or try them in your favorite recipes. You'll love this snack. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rind.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
It's the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. We thank you for joining us, and aren't you glad you're here now? He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We are joined by Bruce Bowen, former San Antonio Spur, current TMI head basketball coach, and all-around 50-year-old plus. That's Bruce Bowen. Welcome aboard, Bruce. How you doing today?
I like that TMI head basketball coach.
Sounds good. Yes, it sounds good, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And happy late birthday, my friend. 50.
No, man. No, don't try to say it now because you heard from the world that it is my birthday. If you're going to say it, you're supposed to be presenting something to me. Like, hey, Bruce, hey, I'm sorry. I'm just now saying happy birthday, but here's a gift card to Blitz. Here's a gift card. Here's a gift card to Eddie V, J Prime. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how about Mellow Mushroom? I got a $25 Mellow Mushroom gift card right in front of me.
Better take it, man.
Again,
take it.
That does me no good in front of you.
That's absolutely true. Bruce, so evidently we had a conversation at some point in the last year where you believe that Greg Popovich would love Ben Simmons and would trade for him immediately. I'm saying this facetiously. Your name was attributed to a quote that, to Jason and I's knowledge, we have never discussed Popovich and Ben Simmons before. Is that correct?
That is very much correct.
Good. We want to get that out there.
Yeah, no, it's such a crazy time we live in now where, and I say this, I talk to my kids that I coach. I'm always stressing how important it is to be content with self. You look at, great individuals and not to mention their talent, but the fact that they are comfortable with self. And unfortunately, we live in a day and age where people would rather have someone that they don't know personally to like them for some strange reason. Someone that does not know the true content and character of who you are, you want them to like you. You don't know what that person may believe. You may not know what they like getting into, but we live in such a society now where it's about how many hearts I can get and how many followers I can get. And so that's the most disappointing thing to me about our society right now, because so many people, they believe everything that transpires through social media.
Yeah, they certainly do. Bruce Bowen with us here on the Blitz, ESPN San Antonio. So when the Twitter started popping earlier today and you saw this quote attributed to you, was your reaction kind of like ours was, like, you didn't say that on our show? We haven't talked to Bruce. And then we were going through the national shows. Were you on a national show yesterday or something to where you might have said that? I mean, or when you see your name attributed to something, you go, well, that's BS.
Well, this is the thing. A friend of mine in Tampa sent me this, and he's like, "Yo, what are you smoking?" and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" You know, first of all, I'm feeling kind of down because the golf course beat me up. So then I look at this, and I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I haven't did an interview, period." I said to my buddy, I said, "I guess it's a slow news day." See. You know, the slow news day is a day that no one can. They need something to pop or what have you. But then I get a text from Joe Ingles of the Utah Jazz, and he says, "Anyone?" And I'm like, what? I'm like, wait. And I put HUH with a question mark, and he sends me a screenshot of DeJounte Murray's Twitter where he's laughing about this statement. So now I'm like, oh my goodness, let me just as I did as a player when something went south, Tom James, hey, look at this. I just said, hey, I don't know what this is about. I said, I don't know anything about this. And I left it at that. And so that's kind of how I came to the knowledge of this whole ordeal. And so I showed my uncle who was here visiting because he was at the birthday party. And he said,
"Is that a cut?"
Why? Yeah, that was.
Picture. He got invited.
That's he was on the list. No.
I tried to get in. You had me arrested.
But it was just one of those things where he's like, wow, when did you say? He said, when did you say this? I said, I didn't say that. He's like, yeah, no, I don't remember that. So
you didn't say it, and it's a preposterous idea. But let's talk about what Ben Simmons is today. I mean, I've never seen a player go from what he was to what he's become after just a couple of games. And it was a drastic fall for a guy that is very talented. And I don't think anybody would dispute that the skill set that Ben Simmons has, just about every coach would love to have a Ben Simmons. But to trade anything for Ben Simmons, I think is going a little bit far.
Well, and this is the reality is that, yes, he is a talent. I mean, this kid was an all-star this year as well as last. And so the whole ordeal is when it rains, it pours. And it's just interesting to me how, Brett Brown, who was the coach in Philadelphia last season, he didn't have an issue with Ben Simmons' play. Or I should say, the production wasn't an issue. You look at when Ben was in that playoff game against the Toronto Raptors a few years ago, you didn't hear the fourth quarter play being, oh my goodness, what is he doing? He hasn't even taken any shots. I think you have to look at how the system is, and is the system right for him? So it's easy to beat up on guys, but more importantly, my thought process is when he spun and he had the layup and he chose to pass it, I felt like there's more going on in his head where he just doesn't trust himself right now for whatever reason. And it's unfortunate because in order for you to graduate to something else, you have to do it in game speed. So at practice, you can shoot all the jump shots you want, but if you never shoot the jump shot in the game, you will never be able to get over that mental block. And so I know how it feels to have a mental block at different things, and you have to truly trust it, but you put in the work that is required. And that allows you to say, you know what? I put in all this work. I need to go out here and go ahead and utilize it. And so I think that's where, that sort of block comes in for Ben. But, they came up against a team that they didn't have any answers for when it came to Trae Young. And so I think it was more the pressure of losing leads. And now this team is here and we haven't blown them out or anything like that.
Bruce, as you think about the mental block or whatever is going on with Ben Simmons, and we all watched it over 7 games, him just refusing to take a shot in fourth quarters. But I've never seen a head coach answer questions the way Doc did when he was asked, can he be a championship caliber guard on a team? And Doc's response was, I don't know. And then Joel Embiid basically said, dude, you pass up a dunk and that cost us a series. I've never seen a coach and a player not have one of their guys' backs. Have you? And what does that mean inside of that locker room when it comes to Ben Simmons and trust?
Well, I think if you have a head coach that is questioning whether a guy can lead your team to a NBA championship, I think it starts right there. It starts with the fact that you don't have someone that is, I think, at the level of being able to encourage, and no matter what, you don't say something like that, especially in today's society where we all know that certain players, that you have to be able to communicate with players where they never feel like my coach doesn't have my back, because it's hard to retract words that are in this dilemma of being hurtful. And so, what are you doing to make sure you build him up? What are you doing to develop him even more so? See, that's what it goes to me. So if you take away Doc Rivers in Boston, I don't know if Doc Rivers would be still coaching right now. See, he spent many years in LA where they never reached the Western Conference Finals because of the lack of development. People talk about his unwillingness to make adjustments in the game. See, now if you say that, if a player says that to a coach, that player might get traded somewhere, because that coach is going to feel like, who are you to say that about me? You're disrespecting me. Just as well as Ben Simmons feeling like, what do you mean you can't win with me and win a championship? It's different things like that a true leader as a coach wouldn't say, because he knows that that's taking away from what that player is. Even if you don't believe it, you do not say it. And even if you have a player, a teammate, man, one of the greatest things that I have been able to experience is a brotherhood with Tony, David, Kim, and Manu. I heard one time Manu was late on the bus. Now, Pop gave him a hard time, like, come on, Manu, let's go. But Manu was he was so disappointed that he made all of us late. But we were like, Manu, you're fine. It's okay. Sorry, guys. See, when you truly care and like someone because of all the things that you've been through, then you're able to stand up for that individual. Now you don't allow anyone to come in between that. And so for a teammate who has been with Ben Simmons, I'm just going off the top of my head, maybe 5+ years, you're going to throw your teammate under the bus.
Right.
Then you wonder why you guys haven't accomplished anything. What if Ben said, well, who turned the ball over where Gallinari got the dunk? What if Ben did that? Because it was Joel Embiid who turned the ball over, who's the go-to guy, who says he loves the game, who was, at the end of the game 2 years ago, sitting in someone's arms, boo-hooing. So when you start throwing darts, it doesn't stop. But what stops darts from being thrown is when you have someone's back.
That is Bruce Bowen, 3-time NBA champ, 5-time NBA all-defensive first team. His numbers up in the rafters, joining us here on the Blitz. Now, it doesn't appear that Ben Simmons is going to be able to go back to Philadelphia. It just seems like the water or the toothpaste is out of the tube, as it were. When you're looking at a guy that's getting paid that much and what it would cost to get a guy like that, how does he land anywhere else? I mean, how do you see the Philadelphia working this situation out if you got two of your stars who obviously, as we said today, are not getting along?
Right. It's going to be a tough task, But you know what? This is the beauty about, and this is just my opinion. This is the beauty about what we do here in this great country of the U.S. And if Ben Simmons comes out and says, you know what? Hey, I dropped the ball. I'm going to be better. I know I need to be better. If he does that and he puts in the time and work and all that, stay off the social media and just get to work. And when he comes back, because right now I don't know who would take him, who would make a deal, because the value dropped. And then you're looking at the business standpoint of things. It's a big contract for someone that is struggling right now. But if he's able to go back and go to work and come back and be that much more better, we will be talking about this as a situation where a player turned a negative into a positive, meaning he looked at himself in the mirror and he got better. On the flip side, you get rid of him now. What are you going to get in return? Now you're breaking up the nucleus of what you have. You can always bring those two in the room and they can hash it out. I mean, it doesn't. I think this is one of the only places that I've been where, there was never any drama like that between Tim and Tony, or Tim and Manu, or Manu and David, and vice versa. You think about the drama, it was in LA, Shaq and Kobe.
Right.
Those individuals having those differences. But this is a situation where damage control is so necessary. But when you look at everything, you got to look at the fact that, okay, well, who authorized him to get the max deal? See, that's where it goes, because someone had to have the foresight of saying, hey, where is that individual at right now? Does that individual, well, let's watch him continue to improve, and we'll base that contract off of that. Because when it's a lot easier to me when that agent comes to them and they say, hey, he deserves a max. Well, let's look at his numbers. You can't say that he deserves a max if we're going to require him to do things, because it got to the point in that Atlanta series when he was on the floor, because being reluctant to shoot the ball, it created problems for their offense. They were much more effective when you had other guards, George Hill in there, as far as, guys, wing players. When they were on the floor, things tend to work differently. Now you're stuck because you got to have him on the floor, but at the same time, he's taken away from the product of you all being better during that time.
Bruce, it'll be interesting, although his agent probably explained that he was 100% shooting on the shots that he did take in the fourth quarters of the 7-game series, because you know how the agent is going to spin it. Let's talk about tonight's game in the Western Conference Finals. Game 2, no CP3, no Kawhi. Can the Suns advance to the NBA Finals without CP3 for a couple more games?
I don't think so. And I say that because of what CP3 does for them. He's a coach on the floor. We talk about the truest of true point guards, understanding where everybody needs to be, not putting in guys in positions where they're not able to succeed. Even if they're limited, he's able to get them shots and things of that nature. But I do love the spirit of what the Suns are doing. And if they can, I felt like they would be a little rusty in that first game because of the time off, and they're young, and it showed. But at the same time, they play hard. They play with the purpose. Defensively, they can get better, because I'm sure Monty is showing them film and saying, hey, fellas, we need to be able to take care of the ball better here. We need to do a better job of closing on this shooter and that shooter. Recognize where Paul George is. I love what they've been able to do. And I love the fact that it started in the bubble last year. The emergence of what Booker is doing is truly special and good for Phoenix. So as they move forward, I believe that they can win this game because they are at home. But at the same time, I think they need CP3, especially on the road, to calm nerves, to reassure guys, and stick to their game plan. It's very easy for young guys to get away from the game plan, especially when they're on the road. It's a lot easier to stick to the game plan at home, but on the road is where the issues can come about.
We're running up against it, but I want to ask you the same question with the Clips. Can they progress and go without Kawhi?
I think they've shown that they can. And what Paul George has been able to do, it's funny to me how with volume shooters or elite players in this game, stars in this game, it doesn't take them much to get back on track. And I think that time in OKC for Paul George was truly in the building moments of where he is now, because he had to deal with the failures of, Damian Lillard sending him home on a deep three. He had to deal with the failures of losing in a series where he hits the side of the backboard shooting a three in the bubble. So all those experiences, I tell my kids right now, failures help you to be better if you truly accept what transpired. And I think he has. He's put in the work now. And you see the Paul George of old that was in Indiana and just doing things at a level where he can take over games. He can get other guys involved. Now it's more about who's going to help him with the Clippers, because you can already cancel out Devin Booker and Paul George. They're going to cancel out each other. Okay, now who's going to step up for the Clippers as well as the Phoenix Suns? I just think the Suns play with each other so much better, and you have a lot more ISO ball with the Clippers.
Very true. He's Bruce Bowen. He knows the offense as a great defensive player. One real quick question before we let you go. If you were going to go get Ben Simmons, what's more difficult to do for a professional NBA type guy to pick up a jump shot form, to learn how to be a shooter in a game? Or would you take Ben Simmons and say, well, forget about the jump shot, you're never going to get it? Would you put him down closer to the bucket? Would you invert your offense and say, guess what? You are no longer point guard. You're 0.5. You're point center. We're going to invert the offense. Is that crazy?
It's not crazy, but the thing is, you don't want to lose a player. See, the player has been a point guard for so long. Now you put him in that position. Now you have to worry about the mental capacity of him feeling that he's still part of this. And sometimes that can create even more situations. Right now, what's important for Ben Simmons is a culture. And that organization needs to change the culture of what's going on, because you want him to feel comfortable. And well, I should say this, with any team that he's playing for, it'll be about the culture, because a great culture allows a player to feel like he can accomplish so much more. There were times, y'all just don't understand, when I was on the floor with Manu, I thought I did things like Manu. But when I saw the film, I looked like Bruce Bowen. So it is truly about that culture and what you can make a guy feel like, because it goes so far. A pat on the back. Hey, man, we appreciate your hard work. Those little things, those words of encouragement are so key when it comes to dealing with a player that is going through something when it comes to the game per se.
Well, 99.9% of all basketball players would be proud to look like Bruce Bowen on a court. So I would not look at that as a derogatory thing at all. Bruce Bowen right here on ESPN San Antonio. Man, thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate you.
Not a problem, fellas.
Bruce Bowen.
Appreciate it. Next time we'll talk some more Cowboys football.
Yeah. I don't think he'll back away from that.
Out.
He's already gone.
No.
Hey, we're really up against it. We'll be right back and sum it up here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Training camp's just a couple of weeks away for the National Football League. Time to start thinking about your fantasy play. There's a new great place to play fantasy sports. It's UnderdogFantasy.com. And I tell you what, they've got daily and season-long fantasy sports, the NFL best ball format. They got some NBA stuff as well. But for football, the best ball format, easy to play format with no waivers, no trades. You just draft, set it and forget it. Draft your team in a 12-team league over 18 rounds and get the highest possible score in your lineup each week. No trades, no lineup setting, no in-season management at all. And it's a great way to practice drafting before your home league has their draft, which is just right around the corner. They already have contests for the 2021 NFL season already live there at UnderdogFantasy.com, including their Best Ball Mania 2 tournament, $25 to enter, over $3.5 million in total prizes. And it's the largest tournament in all of fantasy football. You can play online, or better yet, download their mobile app. And if you don't like it, they guarantee your money back up to $100. So sign up today with promo code radio at UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. Make your first deposit and receive a free $25 in bonus cash. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store and register with promo code radio to get $25 cash for free with your first deposit. Download the app today, start playing today, and don't forget to enter promo code radio at signup. They do have terms and conditions that apply at underdogfantasy.com.
Hoops and Hype, the post-up with Brendan Medina and Jack Thompson, a basketball anthology. The culture from the court to kicks for the discerning fan. The post-up, Fridays at 7 after the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
You know, nobody plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested and you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can text bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You know your best option is AA Best Bail Bonds for stress-free bail bonds because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. So whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or go online, mybestbailbonds.com. Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Your experience matters. At University of Phoenix, relevant life experience and eligible transfer credits can help you earn your degree faster and for less. In fact, undergrads who apply these credits, on average, save about 1 year and $11,000. Get the credit you deserve for time spent in the classroom, on the job, and in life. And see how much you can save at phoenix.edu. That's phoenix.edu.
Napa know-how. Some things just go better together, like a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil and a platinum filter for $26.48. It's like bacon and eggs, hot dogs and mustard, or Joni and Chachi. Ask your dad about it. That's Napa full synthetic and a platinum filter for $26.48. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 6/30/21.
Sadness and misery, I don't feel either of these. I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
Hey, man, what's wrong?
Well, it just didn't sound very bluesy.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Oh, hey, Buzz.
Okay, well, let's try it again.
Smile on my face.
Nope, that's still happy.
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
What's going on? It's that little Chico Pitbull. It's a worldwide to infinity. You know the roof on fire. We gon' boogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance like the roof on fire. I tell her, baby, I'm a fire.
It's the Blitz. That is Pitbull. He's coming to the Circuit of the Americas on September the 12th. He's bringing Iggy Azalea with him for some reason. But Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, will be live in person just outside of Austin. You want to go, you better be quick on the draw. Caller number 3 to 656-3776. 656 ESPN is going to see Pitbull and Iggy Azalea out in the beautiful Circuit of the Americas. Be on the phone right now. Caller number 3 goes. If you don't get on the line, that's fine. We'll give them away another pair here in about 45 minutes. We'll be right back. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you need your logo on gear, you know you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over there on San Pedro. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you want your logo on shirts, on jackets, on caps. If you need uniforms, Well, I tell you what, Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, and not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts for any occasion. Maybe you've got a family reunion coming up, holding a basketball camp. Your workers wear T-shirts that need printing. They can do that for you there at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410, right there next to Big Lots across from the McDonald's. All items do come with a warranty, and you know you're going to work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now waiting on you to call. 210-824-3900, 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
More people are driving than ever before. That means a higher risk of you getting into an accident. Call My Collision Center first. Our professionals use original, not aftermarket generic parts at no extra cost to you. Aftermarket parts will bring your vehicle's value down. Your safety and satisfaction is My Collision Center's top priority. We work for you. We provide a written lifetime warranty and invoice verifying parts are factory original. If you have an accident and you want
I'm Justin Tatro, organist of the Texas Rangers, and this is your home of Rangers baseball. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM KZDC San Antonio.
Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go, slow down. We're going to get you all the way home. Don't mind them brake lights. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We're going till 6:30 tonight. We got some more Texas Rangers for you.
Hey, they won last night.
Yes, they did. 8-3. They put some runs up. That's all the runs they get for July. So we'll see what happens for the.
Well, can we finish June 1st?
Well, I mean, we've already. They had a good month. They had a fine April. That's all we can ask for.
As many runs last night as the Texas Longhorns did this afternoon in knocking off that other UT. Tennessee eliminated. The Texas Longhorns move on with an 8-4 win over there at the College World Series. Hook 'em.
A lot of orange on that field up there in Oklahoma City or Norman. Or where are they? They're up in Nebraska.
In Nebraska.
Yeah, up in Nebraska.
Omaha.
Yeah. A lot of orange on that. I couldn't look at it. It kind of burned my eyes a little bit. But good for Texas. I'm glad they got by. This hour, we are going to look a lot at the NBA. We're going to follow up on Team USA as the commits are coming fast and furious for Greg Popovich's team. But first and foremost tonight, the game going off this evening will not host the two stars, the CP3s or the Kawhis of the world. They're both out, though we really don't have any long-term word on Kawhi, and I think all we're waiting for on Chris Paul is 2 consecutive negative tests. I've heard I've read, and there is no definitive answer here, Jason, but it seems that Paul's asymptomatic, that, as soon as the second negative comes up, that he'll be clear protocols and ready to get back to work. Kawhi, that other story, the Clippers are doing a pretty good job of keeping this smoky and hazy. They're just, he's not gone by any stretch, but
seems typical of all Kawhi injuries. I mean, they're a little unsure about all of it, smoky and hazy, and I'm just curious if he's disappeared to New York City at this point. They continue to say sprained knee, but I go with the Shams Charania report a week ago that it could be an ACL. If it's ACL, there's no chance of him coming back, but the fact that they haven't said anything makes you wonder. The fact that nobody has said anything makes you wonder if it's a sprained knee and they make it to the finals. Would he be able to come back to play against the Bucks, or is he truly done for the season and maybe even done as a Clipper? It's bizarre. And I know Bruce Bowen just told us he doesn't think Phoenix can win if Chris Paul does not come back. But with what we saw from Devin Booker the other night, and maybe it's just my lack of confidence in Paul George to continue doing what he's doing, but I think the Phoenix Suns are on their way to the NBA Finals with or without CP3.
It certainly feels like that. Now, Playoff P has been reborn, and if Terrence Mann could continue doing what he's doing, it might be a little bit more difficult. But as we sit right now, I think Phoenix is the best put together team left playing, not just in the West. I think they're better put together than Milwaukee. They're not more savvy and they're not more talented, but as far as pieces to a puzzle, Phoenix has every piece. There's not anything lacking on that team. You want somebody tough? They got Jay Crowder. You want a big rim protector, a guy who can run a little bit of a high pick and roll and outlet a pass? They got DeAndre Ayton. You want somebody who can cut and get to the rim and hit a three at the same time? That's Mikal Bridges. You need somebody coming off the bench with some size and rebound? That's Cam. You've got, and then we'll talk about Cam Payne, who has actually stepped in Chris Paul's absence as a journeyman, a guy who has played extraordinarily well. I think, as far as pieces and parts, Phoenix has the best pieces and parts out there, but they're just not older and savvy like you see with the Clippers and Milwaukee. Atlanta's kind of in the same boat as Phoenix. Lots of good pieces. They're just going to have to prove it for the first time. And I think if the Phoenix Suns get past the Clips, I think it will have been proven. I'm not sure they would be favored against Milwaukee, but I'd put money on them.
Well, and again, I mean, Phoenix is a fun team to watch, and you were pretty quick in the early part of the playoffs to say that's the team I'm going to root for during this postseason. And quite honestly, I didn't know that they had that in them, when you look at the run. But I mean, I'll say it, they got lucky with Anthony Davis hurt, against the Lakers. I don't know if the Lakers team is full strength, if Phoenix would have been able to overtake them. What they did in the second round was just flat out surprising. And they're up 1-0, and they're going to play tonight at home. There's no Kawhi, and I haven't heard if Marcus Morris is going to play tonight or not. He's a little banged up and is doubtful for the game time decision type. And well, you talk about a lack of toughness with no Kawhi and no Morris. The defense and the toughness that the Clippers offer, down two of their better defenders and tougher guys. It's a tall order for Ty Lue and the Clips.
It is. Ty Lue is an NBA coach's coach. I mean, he lets those guys do what they're very good at. Bruce Bowen talked about and by the way, Bruce Bowen just on the Blitz just a couple of minutes ago. If you missed any of that fantastic interview, it'll be on ESPNSA.com in our audio vault post haste. We're tweeting it out right now. Just make sure you're following ESPN San Antonio on Twitter, and you can get direct access to Bruce coming on and talking about the series this week and many other things, including a quote that did not actually happen regarding Greg Popovich and Ben Simmons and Pop's desire to trade anything. By the way, this is just to tease this conversation. Joe Ingles is tweeting Bruce Bowen or texting Bruce Bowen.
Texting him. I mean, you never know who's friends with who. I mean,
you mean the Australian sharpshooter in Utah is good friends with Bruce Bowen? Hadn't been in the league in 10 years. I found that interesting. Maybe Patty Mills is the go-between there.
I mean, who knows? I mean, it is truly amazing sometimes when you start connecting dots with who becomes good friends with who, how they might have met. But, they could have been doing a autograph circuit in another country together one time and hit it off. Who knows?
I just found that was just a name out of the ether I didn't expect to hear.
Don't you think that's why Bruce dropped it?
Do you think
I'm hearing from all kinds of people, including Joe Ingles.
Do you think when you read a text from Joe Ingles, you read it in an Australian voice?
I would.
Does the text sound like what it would sound like if he had said it?
If I were to get a text from, say, Patty Mills, mate would be at the end of every sentence, whether he writes it or not. I would just read it with mate. That's a good-looking steak, mate. I mean, that's how I would read it. If he were to, so yes, I think that would be a true answer.
I adjusted my Siri so that when I ask for directions, it sounds like a butler. I have a British butler in my car now.
You have a British butler in your car.
I changed the voice so it sounds like I can ask. Jeeves, how do I get there?
And does he say Houston Street or Houston Street?
He says it says Houston, actually. He's got a little bit of a Yankee bent to it. First time I went to New York and I saw what Houston was, I was like, man, it's just Houston. What is this Houston stuff? South of Houston. That Soho, south of Houston.
But it's funny though, because my GPS, which is the standard one, I haven't gone to a fancy British butler voice, says Houston Street, but it says San Pedro instead of San Pedro. But if you're in California, it will say San Pedro. Who knows?
They don't know what they're doing out there.
That's the obvious.
They don't have any idea. We're going to be giving away Pitbull tickets in a little over 30 minutes. You want to win Pitbull tickets with Iggy Azalea. They're coming September the 12th. You need to continue listening right here to ESPN San Antonio. We got your Ducats. We'll have them all week long. You just got to listen. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day. The Western Conference in play tonight. Atlanta and Milwaukee. Haven't had a lot of opportunity to look at this series on its face, Jason, when you see what Milwaukee is, and certainly it's the Greek Freak and everybody else, and you see what Atlanta is, and it's Trae Young and everybody else, different parts of the court, different positions, yet both equally important. Do we lay this on Milwaukee as a series for them to lose, or is Atlanta good enough to actually come up and threaten Milwaukee?
Milwaukee in 5. I mean, honestly, Atlanta's been a lot of fun to watch. And they knocked off Philadelphia. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals. But outside of Milwaukee has to get to the NBA Finals. They have to go, honestly, I would almost say win it this year. When you think about what Brooklyn is going to be when they get healthy, you look at when LeBron and Anthony Davis get healthy again, the offseason that we're about to have, that Golden State team, will eventually get a Thompson back and be good again. I look at what Phoenix is doing. I'm not 100% sure on Denver because I thought they were going to be the next, but, the way they got swept, there is not a better time for Milwaukee to go get them a trophy. I mean, honestly, this is Milwaukee's time. They have to go get this. And to knock off the Brooklyn Nets the way they did in a Game 7 because the clown shoes that Kevin Durant decides to wear says the basketball gods are on their side, and the Milwaukee Bucks are going to end up with the Larry O'Brien trophy.
It feels like they need to do it. They have to do it to erase what, and I believe in everybody's mind, was just the ass kicking they dealt with mid-series. I mean, what we watched, it's hard to, put together and say, well, yeah, they got past Brooklyn. I think if you ask 9 people out of 10, they would say, well, they just got lucky. I mean, Kyrie doesn't step on a foot. It doesn't happen. And Coach Budenholzer's seat went from hot to bed. You better not sit out on this thing. It's going to get worse. To now, Giannis is the odds-on favorite to win the MOP, I guess is how they're defining it now, the most outstanding player in the playoffs. But just a week ago, I didn't feel that way. I think Milwaukee, if they don't win it, the stink of that one fateful defeat at Kevin Durant's hands that happened mid-series, not at the end, even though Kevin Durant continued to play, will be stuck in people's minds forever. And as much as Ben Simmons is dealing with what happens when you lose like that, I think Giannis would have been dealing with the very same kind of questions as to what was Milwaukee going to do with this whopping contract when your best player and one of the top, great players in the world doesn't live up to the standards that you need from that guy. And that was Giannis for 3 of the games. So Milwaukee just about has to kind of rectify what still feels like just a wrecked playoffs.
I don't know how they responded, honestly, to what happened to them, that Kevin Durant game. I don't know how the Bucks recovered from that. I didn't think they would.
I didn't either.
The fact that they did and won a game on the road in overtime, in Atlanta riding high, but they seem to be playing with house money at this point. Milwaukee has to go win. And if they're ever going to win a championship, not saying that they can't over the next couple of years, but it seems wide open for them. They should be favored against Atlanta. They will be favored against the Suns in the NBA Finals or the Clips if the Clips were to get there. But you look at the matchups, this has got to be Giannis's time to go out and get his. If he's ever going to get a ring, now is the time. There won't be an easier path for them to get to the NBA Finals and win a trophy than what they're facing right now.
The Olympics begin in just a little over a month, the 23rd to be exact. Greg Popovich has his team coming into form. Lots of commitments and one decommit for Team USA. We'll look at both the men's and women's squads coming up next. We're going to talk injuries at 6 o'clock on our regular ESPN San Antonio injury update. Dr. Lane Nauer will be here from the Sports Institute of TSAOG Orthopedics. Looking forward to tonight and this weekend's playoff games. Hang around with us. We got a lot lot to talk about here on the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Are you dealing with something painful? Do you have a soft tissue injury that just won't let you go? Do you have a frozen back or a bad shoulder? If you're dealing with pain, I want you to call my friends at Arasti. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio. They are passionate. They are experts at getting folks out of pain. That's what they do. Now, Arasti is not an invasive procedure. I'm not talking about surgery, and I'm certainly not talking about being prescribed medications to dull or hide the pain. I'm talking about an Arasti provider, a medical professional getting in there and fixing the problem. And when the problem is fixed, the pain goes away. Arasti providers will, when you come and see one, you get a full evaluation. They're going to find out exactly what the problem is and get in there and fix it. And they do it in a remarkably short amount of time. Several years ago, they wanted to see how quickly their patients were getting back in the game, back into life. They did a study of the hundreds of thousands of patients around the United States, and they found 3.2 visits was the average. Think about that. If you're like me and have dealt with lower back pain and issues for most of their life, 3.2 visits, shoot, I'm used to 1.5 months before I get better. That's what Arasti does. Now, when you call an Arasti provider, you're not going to need a referral. Just go ahead and make the call. So grab a pen and write this down. It's 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. Their website is a fountain of information. There's even a map there of all the Arasti providers in San Antonio, and I'm sure there's one less than 10 minutes away from where you are right now. Go check out their website, arasti.com. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. You can get it fixed. Arasti providers are there to get you taken care of and back in the game. If you're dealing with pain, I want you to call an Arasti provider, get yourself in there. You will be surprised at how quickly you will feel better and get yourself back in. Arasti, call them today. Thank me later.
Your home for the Texas Rangers all season long.
This is Pudge Rodriguez of the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers baseball on ESPN San Antonio is brought to you by New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair.
You are listening to 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM.
More people are driving than ever before. That means a higher risk of you getting into an accident. Call My Collision Center first. Our professionals use original, not aftermarket generic parts at no extra cost to you. Aftermarket parts will bring your vehicle's value down. Your safety and satisfaction is My Collision Center's top priority. We work for you. We provide a written lifetime warranty and invoice verifying parts are factory original. If you have an accident and you want factory parts at no extra cost to you, choose My Collision Center.
O'Reilly. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get up to a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries. With the power and capacity your vehicle demands, Superstart batteries are designed for lasting performance and consistent starts. Turn the key with confidence with Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Welcome to Texas, where your backside will sizzle like bacon when you get in your car, unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to keep them cooler and stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an auto alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. Austin and San Antonio stores. MothersWindowTint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
You took an antacid, and now your frequent heartburn is back. Stop heartburn before it begins with Prilosec OTC. Its unique delayed-release formula blocks heartburn at the source for 24 hours, so you can extinguish heartburn before it starts. Make the switch to Prilosec OTC today and live heartburn-free. Prilosec OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-687-5192.
It's the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Jason Thompson, an experienced personal injury attorney, is one phone call away. If you're in dire straits, if you've been injured in a car collision, Jason Thompson is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The number you need is 210-900-0400. His website is alawyerforus.com. So Greg Popovich's NBA season was cut short as the play-in tournament yielded the perfect benefit to the Spurs as the lottery goes off tonight and the Spurs get to play along. But in the meantime, the Team USA needed to come together, and as commits start to fly in, the big surprise is that it appears that Chris Paul initially opted in. We know he's dealing with protocols and other things. That appears that he is not, but the Pop's cupboards are going to be stocked pretty full. This is going to be a very, very talented team, the likes of which is typical of an NBA roster, though there will be no LeBron James this year.
No, but, you got commitments for Team USA today from Drew Holiday, Kevin Love, and Khris Middleton, which does surprise me because, as I just said, I expect Khris Middleton to be playing deep into July with the NBA Finals. But with Chris Paul reportedly declining the invite, Steph Curry and Donovan Mitchell have already declined. We don't know about Kawhi Leonard yet, because, we don't know if he's going to have a knee available or not. If that's an ACL injury, obviously he won't be available for the Olympics, but there was a lot of indication that he was leaning that way. Same with Paul George, but there's only one spot left after the 3 commitments today that Pop got for Team USA.
Is Kevin Love really going to be on this team? I mean, I guess I could announce that I'm available to go play on Team USA. I guess he's part of the team. I am so enjoying the playoffs right now because of the lack of the typical stars. The guys that we've been cheering for the last 5 years, they're all basically gone. We got CP3 still around, and Giannis, he's not part of the Team USA kind of formula, but I'm kind of liking the idea of the young guys going to get this, and I like all the commits from Bradley Beal on. I like these guys. Kevin Love, you've done your country a great service, but maybe there might be somebody else out there that might be more appropriate for the next Olympics as well.
Well, I mean, let's see. Kevin Love won gold at the 2012 Olympics.
Yes, he's been around a long time.
I mean, and it really is kind of one of those, you do need some of the veteran guys. You do need a big. I look at, with Durant and Bam Adebayo, somebody's got to go get coffee for everybody.
Well, is Christian Laettner available?
No. So Kevin Love, Kevin Love is I mean, I'm not going to knock any of these guys. I think what a great honor. I mean, to read like Steph Curry had other commitments. Now, we've known for a long time when the Olympics are. There are a lot of times I wish that some of the guys would cherish the opportunity to have USA across their chest. I'll never forget, and I didn't understand this for a long time as a sports media person, when guys would either leave their NBA team to go play for their country or guys would not commit to Team USA. And again, I know that seems ass backwards, but with all the foreign players that the Spurs have always had, dude, you got to put the NBA first. But how could you not go play for Team USA? Until I heard Manu Ginobili say that gold medal that they won was more of a big deal than winning an NBA trophy. And the light goes off that, okay, I get it. So now when I see guys not want to go to Team USA because I've got other commitments this summer, dude, come on, Steph.
Well, Steph can stay home. He doesn't need. I'm excited about the next group. I'd like to see Trae Young in there and Donovan Mitchell and all these young guys, whether they've been part of Team USA in the past. I want them on this roster and expect to see them far more than Steph, or if Klay Thompson was available, or some of the guys that have been around for a while. I am enjoying the young blood. I like the idea that Booker said, I'm going no matter how far we go. Those are the guys that I'm excited to go see, because even the mid-level NBA types, apart from some strange coaching decisions over the last 20 years, have been very, very successful. And we know that the Serbs are going to be solid, and certainly the French team is going to be stock full of NBA types, and the Turks and the Canadians. There's plenty of guys out there, but who are we kidding? I mean, I'm just excited about this transition time that I feel like I'm in, as I'm putting to bed the last 20 years of basketball that have been LeBron-led forever. And then, then we added the KDs and all the others that have come along, and we've got so much new young blood. And I can see the future of the Olympics kind of coming around the corner, because if you're good, I expect you to play in 3 Olympics. That's a span of 8 years. If you make that first one and you're a young enough player, there's no reason why you can't do the following 2 over the span. So maybe a little bit of shift is in order. On the other,
and again, I'm with you to that point. I like the team. I like the new blood. I like the mix of a young guy like a Booker, along with having a Kevin Durant as a part of this team, Draymond and Bradley Beal. Those guys that have committed. I'm with you there. So it's not like I'm upset that LeBron isn't going. Although, how do you not? How do you turn down? And it's just hearing it from Steph. I had other commitments this summer. Really? What are you going to be playing golf at Lake Tahoe?
He's got a game show to do.
Well, there's that. I mean, it's just really. But I'm like you, excited about the team that's going, because, well, hell, it better win gold, and I want to make sure Greg Popovich wins a gold medal.
Yeah, that has to happen. And his offensive. ideals don't always fit the FIBA rule set. So let's see. The assistants are going to take a role. Team USA on the ladies' side is utterly spectacular. I mean, they don't need to practice. When you have the likes of Sue Bird and Skylar Diggins and Chelsea Gray and Brittany Griner out of Waco, out of Baylor herself, Brianna Stewart, Deanna Taurasi, Aja Wilson. This is a stock team. And you notice I didn't even bring up the latest spokesperson that stands next to Chris Paul now in all those TV ads. Ionescu isn't even going because she didn't get the opportunity to go to the Olympic mini camps that have been held over the last year because of the injuries that she was dealing with. And for my money, while she is not quite to the level of these ladies that are going, she's certainly the next. And they quite frankly don't even need her.
They don't need her, but it's interesting, though, that while we're excited to see the young players and don't need the LeBrons on the men's side, on the ladies' side, you got Sue Bird, who's 40. You got Brittany Griner, who's been in the league, about 10 years?
8 years now, yeah.
You've got so many veteran players, Diana, that you just mentioned, that it seems like, they were in LA in 1984. It feels like they've been a part of that scene for that long. And I know there's a lot of great young talent on the ladies' side as well, but they're not the Sue Birds of the world are still leading the charge for Team USA. And I ain't mad about that either.
No, but this will be the last time. It'll be fun to watch Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird say goodbye. I mean, the Mount Rushmore of women's basketball. This will be our opportunity for them to take a gold and head on into the sunset after a remarkable career in growing the league. We're going to have Bruce Bowen on after 6 o'clock. Bruce was cited in a quote regarding Greg Popovich's desire to trade or would trade in what was not true, in Bruce's words, would trade anything to go get Ben Simmons. Bruce Bowen's going to join us just after 6 o'clock to talk about the statement that he did not make. But we will look at the possibility of what Pop might do or what the Spurs would do with a Ben Simmons. And what do you do with a Ben Simmons if he does stay a 76er? We'll look at that for sure. Coming back, we'll look at the NBA for sure. But the news, we talked about this yesterday, Jason. Carl Nassib, in the NFL type, he's not Jackie Robinson. And I'm glad he's not having to be Jackie Robinson and breaking a barrier. But I am extraordinarily happy that this story isn't bigger. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That it's not a bigger story than it is, because the outpouring of support around the NFL and from every corner of this country when the announcement was made, a casual Instagram post where Carl just said, "I'm gay and I'm happy. Here we go." And the response has been extraordinary. Right now, Jason, did you know that his jersey is the number one selling jersey in the NFL? Flying off the shelves over the last 24 hours.
After yesterday, he's created a lot of Raider fans. And again, I look at a guy who has bounced around a little bit. And you think about toughness, mental toughness. Guy walk on at Penn State, didn't start till his senior year, then won Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. I mean, his fifth-year senior before he became a starter, the toughness that takes. He got drafted by Cleveland and he ended up in Tampa Bay, signed with the Raiders, proving himself. And I think what's even more special about his announcement is the foundation that he pledged $100,000 to support has seen a massive increase in donations over the last 24 hours because he has brought so much awareness to their organization, which helps prevent suicide amongst the community. And it's incredible. But 10 years ago, I don't know that he could have done this or would have done this, or it would have been a bigger story because there would have been so much negative. But in 2021, the players that are offering their support, it's not that big of a deal.
We'll come back looking around the NBA and the draft lottery. And if you have any comments regarding that or anything else, we always are eager to talk to you. Our Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open, 656-3776, 656 ESPN. Coming back, your calls and talking NBA lottery and a gay player openly playing in the NFL. It's a good day in the United States. We'll talk about it next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. How'd you feel today? When you got up this morning, were you ready to attack the day? Were you fully rested and feeling good about yourself? Well, so many things can get in the way of that, and one of them is if you didn't get a good night's sleep before, it's really hard to attack it. If you're overweight, you know what it's like getting to sleep. You're probably snoring a little bit more than you used to. And if you're snoring, you're waking up all night long and not getting that REM sleep that so many of us need. So you wake up a little tired, a little foggy head, and you start jamming the caffeine down your throat so you can get the day going. Then you're not eating right because you're going too fast, and it just snowball effects that everybody lives. I met Dr. Jacob Torres at the Institute for Functional Health nearly 2 years ago. I walked into his office weighing nearly 300 pounds. Today, I weigh 247, or at least I did on Monday. 40 pounds down nearly, and that's a year and a half ago, on a program that I'm never going to stop. The Institute for Functional Health and Dr. Jacob Torres taught me how to lose weight. Didn't put me on a diet. They put me on a lifestyle program that has literally changed my life, and I want that for you. And the key to this is the personal attention and the individualized programs that Dr. Torres and the IFF put together. I'm on a program made for me. It's not off the rack. It's not off the internet. It's not some article I printed out. This is a medical professional, a physician telling me exactly what I need to do to lose weight in the healthiest possible way. I changed my life. I changed what I eat. I changed when I eat and what I eat. But I'll tell you what I have done is improve my life immensely. If someone in your family or you is carrying too much weight, if it is time to start losing weight or the physicians are going to start putting you on medications, you need to meet Dr. Jacob Torres. He's the first physician I ever met whose only goal was to get me off every medication that I was on or about to have to take. Year and a half later, numbers are down. My knees, my ankles, my back feels better because I'm not carrying around all that much weight. I want you to call Dr. Torres and find out what I know. It's free of charge. He'd be happy to talk with you. The number is 210-468-1891. 210-468-1891. If you're dealing with headaches, inflammation, joint pain, digestive issues, those can all be fixed by losing weight. I want you to go check out their website, iffhealth.com, a great resource for healthy living. Dr. Jacob Torres changed my life. The IFF and all the great staff out there changed the way I look at food and how I live my life. I want it for you. Call Dr. Torres. Get involved. Get your program started. Let him do it for you. And I'll tell you what, I am sure you'll thank me later.
The NBA playoffs are on ESPN San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. Online at mellowmushroom.com. From the play-in to the finals, we've got you covered. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Time is running out on Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer. You have until June 30th to take advantage of this. Don't wait any longer. Now through June 30th, you can pick any item at Diamonds Direct, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. So many smart shoppers are doing this because this makes everything affordable. An $8,000 diamond tennis bracelet comes out to just $134 a month. A $6,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, just $100 a month. It's a great time to upgrade her diamonds or celebrate an anniversary with a stunning eternity band or designer necklace. You're going to get the best Diamonds Direct price, and you can lock in 5 years financing with 0 interest. An opportunity like this doesn't come around very often, so don't miss this. In fact, Diamonds Direct will be open this Sunday for your convenience. 5 years, 0 interest financing, now through June 30th only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Unapproved credit. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Napa know-how.
Some things just go better together, like a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil and a platinum filter for $26.48. It's like bacon and eggs, hot dogs and mustard, or Joni and Chachi. Ask your dad about it. That's Napa full synthetic and a platinum filter for $26.48. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sale prices not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 6/30/21.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance with the Stars champion. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies can be. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their result because they're getting their lives back. They are getting moving again.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmitt. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics.
Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from my friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 210-571-0318. 2 area locations, QC Kinetics 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318.
You're gearing up to get back out on the field, so you ordered ball game essentials like a new glove, cleats, and a jumbo pack of sunflower seeds. And you used your Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards that you put toward the cost of an essential piece of your post-game recovery. A heating pad. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get your color your way. We've made it easier than ever to try and buy color. Preview paint colors in your home with our Color Snap app. Then visit swsamples.com to have color chips delivered to your door for free. Or order some peel and stick samples to try on your wall. When you're ready to paint, shop online or stop by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store and get everything you need.
It's the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM if you're on the go. ESPNSA.com is a perfect landing spot. You can listen wherever you might be, use us as your podcast, or watch us live. That's where our Facebook feed lands, our YouTube channel lands, and you should land on the regular. You can win stuff there. You can upload pictures of what you're grilling and win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market every Thursday when we do Grilling with the Blitz. It's so easy to do. We upload our pictures of meat. You should do the same and win some money. We just do it for the gratification of looking at some fine food porn, but you could actually look away and walk in with $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, and that's worth something in my book.
That's worth a lot.
$50 if you're
exactly. It's exactly what it's worth.
We're gonna
$50.
The Spurs might be in prep for a franchise-changing moment, the likes of which the Spurs have only experienced twice in their history. We're going to talk about the lottery. Spurs got a chance to get that number 1 pick and rebuild anew. But before we do, Carl Nassib will go down in history as a barrier breaker. He announced yesterday, this current NFL player, that he is gay. That's all it was. He's gay. He announced that he was going to donate $100,000 to the Trevor Foundation. That was very quickly matched by the NFL. And I would like to think that every NFL team would pony up just a little bit of money, if not just the AFC West. But I think that it's brought out something that really we hadn't thought about for a while. There are other gay men in the NFL. By the percentages, there are other gay men out there. And whether they want to, come out of the closet and talk about it or not, that is a personal decision that I don't care about. But if we are walking in today to your office, you wanted to talk about Nassib saying there's a gay man in the NFL, there's been a lot of gay men that have played in the NFL. Let's just go ahead and get that out there. There have been.
And I was watching earlier. I forget what the number is, but certainly double digits of guys that have come out after their playing days and said, yeah, I was gay while I was playing, but I couldn't say anything while I was playing. And there's others.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter whether it's college football, whether it's high school football, or all the way up into the NFL. You think about Collins in the NBA, made his announcement. Don't even think about it. That's just where it goes. But I think the difference is in 2021, even versus when Michael Sam came out, and while he got drafted, he didn't make the team. Even then, the reaction was
a little mixed, a little concerned. Yeah. There was a little, and credit to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys for doing that. But credit to him. That was way, way ahead of the time. But here we sit. 656-3776, 656-ESPN are our Kia Bassa Bacon phone lines. Just your general thoughts. I mean, is it a day of excitement? We should be proud of where we're going. We're not there yet, but certainly this is a huge step for those that identify LGBTQ+. Whatever your pronoun is, whatever pronoun you choose, you should be judged not only by the content of your character, but if you're an NFL player, what are you doing on the field? And Carl Nassib just signed a 3-year, $25 million deal. He is an ensconced NFL player who will continue to play.
When you think about Carl, who recorded the video from his home in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and is now playing in Las Vegas, and you think about some of his teammates that, I would imagine that one of the first texts he got or phone calls that he got from Raider teammates, probably his quarterback and Derek Carr. That, you think about Gruden or Mayock and, those in Las Vegas, it's not going to, that's the thing is like, you wouldn't think it is going to be an issue. You and I were both in the military. I was in the Navy when Bill Clinton came up with "Don't Ask, Don't Tell."
Mistake.
Which again, when you go back and you think about, you in the Air Force in the barracks, you go onto a Navy ship that's out to sea, and you got 40, 50, 60 guys in a berthing area, in our neighborhoods, which were, 3 stacked racks in 2 lockers and then more. So you had 6 in a neighborhood and, locker room type showers. It wasn't even a big deal back then. Now you didn't know, but, because don't ask, don't tell. But in today's world, I can't even imagine that. I don't want to say it wouldn't be, coming out in 2021 a lot easier than it would have been 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Because I think a lot of people now say, no big deal. Nope. Are you a good dude or you're not a good dude? If you're a good dude, I don't care. I like you because you're you.
Yep. Your 94s are flying off the NFL shelves. His jersey, the Raider jersey, is the biggest selling jersey in the NFL over the last 24 hours. Donations to the Trevor Foundation are skyrocketing. What do you think? Does this mean anything to you at all? Is there any comparison to any other previous athletes? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Elroy, welcome aboard, man. Thanks for calling.
Hey,
go ahead. Oh, where Elroy's breaking up.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
no, we got you
here on what's the name, but no, I had it on Bluetooth. Yeah, no, I was just going to make an observation. You know what I mean? Coming out is one thing, but when we make a public announcement of just our sexual preference, what are we really celebrating? We got people like Kaepernick that came out. We talk about the issues, but he got 50% love, 50% hate on an issue that's real and serious, that we're talking about inequality. But now we're talking about somebody's sexual preference, and we're just treating it as that's, liberating people. It's whether it was Wilt Chamberlain coming out with, sleeping with over 1,000 women or
10,000.
It doesn't, we glorify it, but honestly, it's no different. We don't just come out and say, well, I'm Dwayne Wade and I sleep with 1,000 women, and we put him on a pedestal. No, that's private. Leave it private. If you have a boyfriend, that's fine. If you have a girlfriend, that's fine. Those are the things we shouldn't have to feel like we have to make a public announcement based on what our sexual preference is, and then we want to be considered private. And so let's private in that private sector.
And again, and you're right. There is a privacy factor, and there will come a point where announcements aren't going to matter, right? It won't matter one way or the other. But what Carl did yesterday in making his announcement during Pride Month and pledging $100,000 to an organization that, quite frankly, I'd never heard of before, I think was the biggest thing and reason for him to do it. He wants to help because he knows what others are going through. He's educated himself on what others are going through and found an organization that needed the attention, and it is getting that attention. It's amazing that, you talk about it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal, and certainly not the lead story like it would have been 10 or 15 years ago. Oh no, there's a gay football player. Now, second, third block of the Sports Center, right. They play his announcement. I have not seen a negative tweet from a current NFL player. The Neanderthal mentality is gone. But what has happened is a whole lot of money being donated to the Trevor Foundation. And I think that's what Carl's point was in this deep into his NFL career of coming out publicly and posting that video.
I agree. And I cannot wait for the day where no one cares. It's not even an issue. All I want to know is, again, we fall back to content of character and all of that. For a football player, are you helping my team win? That's all I care about. Just stay out of the news and go help my team win, and we all get along. I don't care what you're doing. I don't.
You know, it's kind of, you know, we all want good guys on our teams, unless, of course, they're a bad guy that can help your team win. I remember saying that about Randy Gregory. You know, here's a guy. I mean, I know he's not wrong, but I mean, the league's letting him play. Why would you be mad if the guy has a job, if he can get you some sacks and help your team win? Same thing here. If he, you know, it's a defensive end. If you're a Raider fan, is he productive on the football field? That's all that should matter.
Let's hope we continue that direction. And I am so excited. This is not top of the fold, first news that we talk about in sports. I want this to no longer even be an issue. But I'll tell you what, when Nassib does that, eyes are on him. There's lots of kids out there that see this man that came out that is successful in every realm of his life and saying, I'm doing it as a gay man and I'm not ashamed of it. That means so much to so many people. Congratulations, NFL, for doing the right thing. Congratulations, Nassib. Congratulations to the Raider organization. Of course, it would be a Raider that would get it done with their history of just zagging when everybody else zigs. Well done, Nassib. And go to check out the Trevor Foundation. It is a worthy group that was founded out of tragedy. It's been about 20 years ago. It is worthy of your money and your time. When we close out this hour, Kevin Durant might still be playing if he wore the right size shoes. This is a crazy story that I read twice, and I still can't believe it is, in fact, true. Who wears shoes too big for their feet to play ball in? I'll tell you who.
Bozo.
Kevin Durant. We'll talk about it next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're having issues at the house with your plumbing or your AC, you know there's one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. Their phone number is 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. At Quartermoon, they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A+ ranking with the Better Business Bureau. It's hot outside. If your AC is struggling, or worse, it goes out, Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
Your home for the Texas Rangers all season long.
This is Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers Baseball, brought to you by New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair.
Your home for the Texas Rangers, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
If you spend hard-earned money on a designer watch and that watch breaks, don't you want it repaired with the same designer parts? The same goes for your car after an accident. Your safety and full satisfaction is My Collision Center's top priority. My Collision Center works for you. Our professionals use original, not aftermarket, generic parts that will bring your vehicle's value down. If you have an accident and you want factory parts at no extra cost to you, choose My Collision Center.
Northeast Independent School District is now hiring and training school bus drivers. Whether you're looking for a new job, you're a retiree, or you're retired military, come help drive students to succeed and apply at Northeast ISD Transportation today. No experience is necessary, and you will get paid while earning your CDL and learning how to drive a school bus.
The Northeast ISD Transportation Department is ranked as one of the top 100 school bus fleets in America,
and our drivers receive exceptional pay and benefits, including health, dental, vision, and retirement.
If you're looking for work, if you're retired from the military, or you simply want to make a difference in our community, apply now with the Northeast ISD Transportation Department.
Join our team and discover Northeast ISD by calling 210-356-9229. That's 210-356-9229. Or you can text Drive Bus to 797979. That's text Drive Bus to 797979.
O'Reilly.
Ready for an oil change? The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are here to help. We'll make sure you have all the supplies you need to make the job quick and easy. Right now, get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $28.95. Plus, get a $10 gift card after mail-in rebate. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time for some straight talk. You've got real work to do, but everyone's sucking up the free Wi-Fi faster than a Mocha Choco double frap on ice. So be your own hotspot. Now with Straight Talk Wireless, get 10 gigs of hotspot data with the ultimate unlimited plan. Just $55 a month on America's largest and most dependable networks. You don't have to find a hotspot. You are the hotspot. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Compatible device required. See straighttalk.com.
If you're a business owner who's hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But ZipRecruiter finds qualified candidates for you and invites them to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So while other companies give you too many options, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free at this web address, ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. That's ZipRecruiter.com/GREENY. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
It is the Blitz. You are on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go, ESPNSA.com, place to go. Got Bruce Bowen talking to you here in about 10, 15 minutes. In the meantime, let's give away some tickets.
What's going on? It's that Lil Chico Pitbull. Mr. Worldwide to infinity. You know the roof on fire. We go boogie, oogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance like the roof on fire. I tell her, baby.
I want to be able to talk like that.
I know. Pledge plays Fireball and broke his microphone. Look at that.
One day I
There's
talk
England over
good.
there.
Yeah, Pitbull's bringing Iggy Azalea to the Circuit of the Americas on September the 12th. You want to go? Check out Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide. It's easy to do. Listen to ESPN San Antonio all week long. We're giving away a couple of pairs of tickets every day. We're giving it right now. 656-377-6656 ESPN. Caller number 5. You're going to have to be quick to see Mr. 305. Be caller number 5. You go see Pitbull and Iggy Azalea at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater at the Circuit of Americas. COTA, as those of us in the know call it. So you get the feeling that maybe the Brooklyn Nets would still be playing if Kevin Durant did not have the penchant for wearing shoes too big for his feet. Now, this is a story that goes back to 2018 that was written in The Athletic about Kevin Durant likes to feel light on his feet, and he was wearing shoes a size too big, and he was having a problem a couple years ago with his shoes literally coming off during games. I don't remember reading that, nor have I ever heard anything even remotely like that. Who could wear shoes too big in?
You're a shoe guy. What shoes does he wear?
He's got his own line. He's a Nike-endorsed Kevin Durant shoe wearer. He wears his own line of shoes.
All right, so how pissed is Nike today that he had shoe problems where they would come off? He likes them too big. And because they developed a clown shoe for him with his toe being on the line, if he was wearing the right size shoe, he would have hit a game winner as opposed to a game tire that would have, instead of going to overtime, the Bucks would have been sent packing because the guy has a need to wear shoes that are too big, which makes no damn sense.
He likes to feel light on his
shoes too big.
I'll tell you who does.
How do bigger shoes make you feel lighter in your feet?
I don't know.
You got boats down there.
I'm going to out somebody right now. David Chancellor will wear shoes that are too big for him. One time I was commenting on a pair of
socks.
Well, no, he didn't have any socks. He was walking around here at the studio back when he was doing the hard line with Artie Timken. And I said, hey, man, nice kicks. He goes, funny you mentioned that. You know, I said, what size do you wear? Those look good. They were like some kind of Converse. And he said, no, I buy them too big. I had a guy tell me years ago that if your feet, they expand, so buy them a little bit big. And I was like, dude, you walk around in shoes too big for you? So yeah, they feel great. And I thought, no, that doesn't feel good to me at all, ever. I don't want shoes rattling around on my feet. I have enough trouble just walking most of the time with regular size shoes, not extra big.
You know, and David Chancellor, feel free to call in and defend yourself at any point, my friend, because I have bought at times, and I've learned my lesson. It's kind of like jeans. Like if I could get 34.29, it'd be perfect. Because when you're 5'7", the 29 is kind of perfect. The 30 is just So if you buy a size too big, I get blisters like nobody's business.
Yes.
They're not comfortable. I don't want them too small. And so if they don't have them in my size, I keep moving. That's how I don't know how you buy shoes online. I got to try them on and walk all around Academy, do a couple of laps and go, these are the perfect Air Dads for me. It just, I can't imagine buying shoes and then playing basketball in shoes that are too big and then have to live myself knowing that because I wore big shoes, my toe was on the line.
Just to think how good it could have been if his shoes actually fit. I mean, he's already, in my mind, the best player in the world as we sit, and one size smaller, he'd own it forever. Dr. Lane Nauer is just around the corner. We're talking injuries with the good doc from the Sports Institute of TSAOG Orthopedics, Bruce Bowen. Very quickly to follow. Hang on tight. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Injuries do happen. If you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There's no reason to be in pain. So if you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more online at TSAOG.com or call 210-804-5490 for an appointment. 210-804-5490 for TSAOG Orthopedics.
The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7, bringing you all the best guests.
Marcus Ware joining us here on ESPN San Antonio.
We get to go to Oxnard every year to cover Cowboys training camp, and as much as I love the Cowboys coming to San Antonio, you can't beat what was in Oxnard, right?
You can't, man, and it was so crazy. I made a joke with some of the guys about this station. It was 94.5. 94 is the number that I wore. Yeah, I never got an interview with you guys. I was like, man, I wanted to make that joke of, I see why you guys chose 94 and why you guys wanted to do the interview with me.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. Don't wait until you think you have a problem with your water before calling Alamo Water Softeners. Have Alamo Water Softeners come to your house and give you a free water analysis and free estimate. You can get a free reverse osmosis system with the purchase of select new water softeners while supplies last. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Time is running out on Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer. You have until June 30th to take advantage of this. Don't wait any longer. Now through June 30th, you can pick any item at Diamonds Direct, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. So many smart shoppers are doing this because this makes everything affordable. An $8,000 diamond tennis bracelet comes out to just $134 a month. A $6,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, just $100 a month. It's a great time to upgrade her diamond or celebrate an anniversary with a stunning eternity band or designer necklace. You're going to get the best Diamonds Direct price, and you can lock in 5 years financing with 0 interest. An opportunity like this doesn't come around very often, so don't miss this. In fact, Diamonds Direct will be open this Sunday for your convenience. 5 years, 0 interest financing, now through June 30th only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Unapproved bank. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-687-5192.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Online at ESPNSA.com. All day, every day. KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go, slow down. Go to ESPNSA.com. Restaurant quality radio coming your way. He is Jason Minix. I am Rob Thompson. We're taking you up to the Rangers here at 6:30. It's time for the ESPN San Antonio Injury Update. It's always powered to you by the Sports Institute over at TSAOG Orthopedics. I'd like to welcome on the show Dr. Lane Nauer. Dr. Nauer, how's your day?
It's going great. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you taking the time as you get ready for Game 2 tonight of the Western Conference Finals. No Kawhi Leonard. It's interesting with Kawhi because they haven't ruled him out for the series or even the season. They say it's a sprained knee, but Shams Charania from The Athletic reported that he's got sources suggesting it could be an ACL injury. If you're the Clippers and it's ACL, why not say it's ACL, or do you think it could just be sprained knee from what you saw the video of the injury?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. The other night when I saw he was out, I was wondering the same thing. I don't really understand why they wouldn't just report it if it's an ACL, because he would obviously be done. Maybe if it's not that severe, they're hoping that it is just a sprain of one of the ligaments or something else in the knee that he could potentially come back from. Maybe not this series, and if they were to make it to the next round, maybe he could come back for that. But I don't really have a great explanation for if it's an ACL. I mean, just report it. He's done. There's no way he's coming back. I don't see the strategy there, but maybe it is, and they're just trying to hold back and keep the questions out there.
Dr. Lane Nauer joining us from TSAOG, the Sports Institute there. What is the role in inflammation or swelling in the diagnosis of Kawhi's knee? I heard initially they were going to have to wait a bit, that they were actually encouraged because there was so much swelling that maybe it meant there wasn't a torn ACL. I didn't quite understand that. How long do you have to wait, or how long is the inflammation typically there before you can get a thorough and or an MRI that you can actually trust?
Well, really, to get an MRI, we can get an MRI pretty much within a day or two of an ACL injury, and you're going to know. The MRI, a good quality MRI, is going to show damage to that ligament or anything else. To say that there's benefit to waiting, I don't necessarily know that's absolutely true with concerns about an ACL tear. Now, does somebody that's not Kawhi Leonard in the conference semifinals need to have an ACL imaged with an MRI immediately? No, we can wait. But for him, I suspect they already know what's going on, and to say that swelling in the knee is a good sign is I would disagree with that. Any swelling that causes the knee to swell up or develop what we call an effusion, fluid inside the knee, that's usually not a good sign. It usually means that there's damage to the meniscus, one of the ligaments inside the knee, or the cartilage, none of which are a good sign for an NBA player.
I've got a real quick question regarding if it is an ACL issue where it might need to be surgically reconstructed. We know that he's got ongoing quad issues that I do believe at the end of his career will be the reason why he ends it. I really do believe that. I don't think he's even the same player he was with San Antonio, because it seems that quad is deteriorating. How much does the role does the quad play in the rehab of the ACL? Will one hinder the other in his rehab?
The ACL won't necessarily, the quad won't hinder the procedure to fix the ACL, but commonly after any surgery on the knee, especially ACL, the quad muscle gets very weak. And so a lot of the rehab and the strength is focused on rebuilding the quad. Well, if your tendon is already irritated or has some tendinosis, that word we use for degeneration, it can prolong things. It can cause that rehab to take longer. So if we're shooting for 6 to 9 months to get somebody rehab, or even a year, maybe that pushes that out to 18 months, in worst case scenario. So it definitely can slow down the rehab.
Dr. Lane Nauer with us here on ESPN San Antonio. On the other side, while it's not a injury, it's COVID protocols for Chris Paul. apparently symptom-free according to reports, but trying to get that second negative test, 2 in a row that he's looking for to be able to come back. But with this kind of layoff, with what you've seen from COVID positive athletes in their return, how quickly will it be before we should expect to see Chris Paul on the floor after he has 2 negative tests in a row?
I think, once he has those negative tests, I think anticipating him back for Thursday's game is reasonable. As far as him bouncing back, he's still training. It sounds like, from what I've heard, he symptomatically was okay. He really didn't feel too bad. He's been doing fine. So he's probably continued with his conditioning. So I think he should bounce back pretty quick. And really, if recent history, I think, if you have to leave a competition for COVID, you just come back and win a major championship. So that's probably good news for him on the NBA front.
It does help just a bit. Dr. Leidenauer joining us here on ESPN San Antonio for our weekly injury update. Sticking with the NBA, Joel Embiid played several series with a torn meniscus. It didn't seem to affect him physically. At least I couldn't see a whole lot. As he's done now, what's the expectation for him? He played fine. Do you think surgery is imminent for him, or is there another course of treatment to get his knee back to 100% for training camp in October?
Yeah, so the initial right now is they're going to rest him, obviously, and let that knee recover. It kind of depends on the type of meniscus tear, where it was torn. There's certain tears in the meniscus that we know won't heal very well. And in an athlete, we want to try and fix those. There are some tears, usually what we call peripheral tears, or tears toward the outside of the joint, that can heal. And if he rests it, it may be able to heal. So there may be some component to letting him rest, giving it some time to see if a tear might heal. Now, he might have the type that just isn't, and they may go ahead and pull the trigger and talk surgery and getting him fixed so that he can do all of his rehab and be ready for next fall. So it kind of depends on the type of tear.
When you're dealing with somebody that big, and if he did have to have some sort of scope or something on that, is there a drop dead date that you look at? Like, you need to have it done before X, because it's going to take a minimum of how much time to come back from just an orthoscope and a reparation of a torn meniscus? How long does it normally take?
Well, usually, there's 2 categories. One is with the meniscus, you're either going and trim out the torn part, meaning remove part of it. That's a much quicker recovery. Guys are walking immediately, usually running within 3, 4, 5 weeks. If you repair the meniscus, meaning stitching it, you have to let that heal. That's 6 weeks of crutches or a brace. And that's more along the lines of 3, 4, even 6 months before you can get back to elite basketball. So much longer recovery. So if they're wanting to repair it, they're probably looking at doing that sooner to get him ready for, the start of next season.
Dr. Leidenauer joining us. This has been the ESPN San Antonio Injury Update. It's always powered to you by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Go check them out online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Nauer, who you got tonight?
Oh, goodness. Who's playing?
Suns and Clips.
Suns and Clips. Oh, Suns. Sorry, I was thinking the other conference. Suns.
Us too. Thanks a lot, Dr. Nauer. Take care of yourself. Again, go check out TSAOG.com. Coming up, Bruce Bowen speaks on a quote that never actually happened. You'll get the backstory next here on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a long-time Ancira customer. So if you're shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle, there's no better place to go than Ancira, and it's because of how well Ancira will take care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
Sundays are for the grill. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 in the morning to 1. Chop it up and grill with former and current Rock the Mic champs Michael Jimenez and Quinn Hudson. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 to 1 every Sunday.
What are you going to do when your air conditioner goes down? Because it will. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you have Service First AC and Plumbing in your phone, you'll make one call and know it's going to be taken care of by the very best. Service First AC and Plumbing, they're the fastest service and same-day service calls you're going to find here in San Antonio. If you've got an AC that's on its way out, you might want to put it in your phone, 210-521-1500. If you're worried about plumbing going bad at any time, day or night, you might want to put Service First AC and Plumbing in your phone, 521-1500. Why? Because they're family-owned and operated. They're San Antonians taking care of San Antonians for over 14 years. They're reliable, they're proactive, and most importantly, I trust them. They've already earned it with me. They came out to my house almost 10 days ago, fixed a plumbing problem, the likes of which I had never seen. Not only did Angel fix it, but he was proactive and took care of another problem that was coming down the pike. Service First AC and Plumbing, they're in my phone. They need to be in yours. That's 210-521-1500. Remember, it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when, and it's the first responder you need as Service First AC and Plumbing. Call them when you need them.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies in our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give your money back. Kilbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
It's the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Well, thank you for joining us, and aren't you glad you're here now? He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We are joined by Bruce Bowen, former San Antonio Spur, current TMI head basketball coach, and all-around 50-year-old plus. That's Bruce Bowen. Welcome aboard, Bruce. How you doing today?
I like that TMI head basketball coach.
Sounds good. Yes, it sounds good, doesn't it? Bruce, so evidently we had a conversation at some point in the last year where you believe that Greg Popovich would love Ben Simmons and would trade for him immediately. I'm saying this facetiously. Your name was attributed to a quote that, to Jason and I's knowledge, we have never discussed Popovich and Ben Simmons before. Is that correct?
That is very much correct.
Good. We want to get that out there.
Yeah, no, it's such a crazy time we live in now where, and I say this, I talk to my kids that I coach. I'm always stressing how important it is to be content with self. You look at, great individuals and not to mention their talent, but the fact that they are comfortable with self. And unfortunately, we live in a day and age where people would rather have someone that they don't know personally to like them for some strange reason. Someone that does not know the true content and character of who you are, you want them to like you. You don't know what that person may believe. You may not know what they like getting into, but we live in such a society now where it's about how many hearts I can get and how many followers I can get. And so that's the most disappointing thing to me about our society right now, because so many people, they believe everything that transpires through social media.
Yeah, they certainly do. Bruce Bowen with us here on the Blitz, ESPN San Antonio. So when the Twitter started popping earlier today and you saw this quote attributed to you, was your reaction kind of like ours was, like, you didn't say that on our show? We haven't talked to Bruce. And then we were going through the national shows. Were you on a national show yesterday or something to where you might have said that? I mean, or when you see your name attributed to something, you go, well, that's BS.
Well, this is the thing. A friend of mine in Tampa sent me this, and he's like, "Yo, what are you smoking?" and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" First of all, I'm feeling kind of down because the golf course beat me up. So then I look at this, and I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I haven't did an interview, period." I said to my buddy, I said, "I guess it's a slow news day." See. The slow news day is a day that no one can. They need something to pop or what have you. But then I get a text from Joe Ingles of the Utah Jazz, and he says, "Anyone?" And I'm like, what? And I put HUH with a question mark, and he sends me a screenshot of DeJounte Murray's Twitter where he's laughing about this statement. So now I'm like, oh my goodness, let me just as I did as a player when something went south, Tom James, hey, look at this. I just said, hey, I don't know what this is about. I said, I don't know anything about this. And I left it at that. And so that's kind of how I came to the knowledge of this whole ordeal. And so I showed my uncle who's here visiting because he was at the birthday party. And he said,
"Is that a cut?"
Why? Yeah, that was.
Sure.
He got invited.
He was on the list. No.
I tried to get in. You had me arrested.
But it was just one of those things where he's like, "Wow, when did you say?" He said, "When did you say this?" I said, "I didn't say that." He was like, "Yeah, no, I don't remember that." So
you didn't say it, and it's a preposterous idea. But let's talk about what Ben Simmons is today. I mean, I've never seen a player go from what he was to what he's become after just a couple of games. Now, it was a drastic fall for a guy that is very talented. And I don't think anybody would dispute that the skill set that Ben Simmons has, just about every coach would love to have a Ben Simmons. But to trade anything for Ben Simmons, I think is going a little bit far.
Well, and this is the reality is that, yes, he is a talent. I mean, this kid was an all-star this year as well as last. And so the whole ordeal is when it rains, it pours. And it's just interesting to me how, Brett Brown, who was the coach in Philadelphia last season, he didn't have an issue with Ben Simmons' play. Or I should say, the production wasn't an issue. You look at when Ben was in that playoff game against the Toronto Raptors a few years ago, you didn't hear the fourth quarter play being, oh my goodness, what is he doing? He hasn't even taken any shots. I think you have to look at how the system is, and is the system right for him? So it's easy to beat up on guys, but more importantly, my thought process is when he spun and he had the layup and he chose to pass it, I felt like there's more going on in his head where he just doesn't trust himself right now for whatever reason. And it's unfortunate because in order for you to graduate to something else, you have to do it in game speed. So at practice, you can shoot all the jump shots you want, but if you never shoot the jump shot in the game, you will never be able to get over that mental block. And so I know how it feels to have a mental block at different things, and you have to truly trust it, but you put in the work that is required, and that allows you to say, you know what, I put in all this work. I need to go out here and go ahead and utilize it. And so I think that's where, that sort of block comes in for Ben. But, they came up against a team that they didn't have any answers for when it came to Trae Young. And so I think it was more the pressure of losing leads. And now this team is here and we haven't blown them out or anything like that.
Bruce, as you think about the mental block or whatever is going on with Ben Simmons, and we all watched it over 7 games, him just refusing to take a shot in fourth quarters. But I've never seen a head coach answer questions the way Doc did when he was asked, can he be a championship caliber guard on a team? And Doc's response was, I don't know. And then Joel Embiid basically said, dude, you pass up a dunk and that cost us a series. I've never seen a coach and a player not have one of their guys' backs. Have you? And what does that mean inside of that locker room when it comes to Ben Simmons and trust?
Well, I think if you have a head coach that is questioning whether a guy can lead your team to a NBA championship, I think it starts right there. It starts with the fact that you don't have someone that is, I think, at the level of being able to encourage, and no matter what, you don't say something like that, especially in today's society where we all know that certain players, that you have to be able to communicate with players where they never feel like my coach doesn't have my back, because it's hard to retract words that are in this dilemma of being hurtful. And so, what are you doing to make sure you build him up? What are you doing to develop him even more so? See, that's what it goes to me. So if you take away Doc Rivers in Boston, I don't know if Doc Rivers would be still coaching right now. See, he spent many years in LA where they never reached the Western Conference Finals because of the lack of development. People talk about his unwillingness to make adjustments in the game. See, now if you say that, if a player says that to a coach, that player might get traded somewhere, because that coach is going to feel like, who are you to say that about me? You're disrespecting me. Just as well as Ben Simmons feeling like, what do you mean you can't win with me and win a championship? It's different things like that a true leader as a coach wouldn't say, because he knows that that's taking away from what that player is. Even if you don't believe it, you do not say it. And even if you have a player, a teammate, man, one of the greatest things that I have been able to experience is a brotherhood with Tony, David, Tim, and Manu. I remember one time Manu was late on the bus. Now, Pop gave him a hard time, like, come on, Manu, let's go. But Manu was he was so disappointed that he made all of us late. But we were like, Manu, you're fine. It's okay. Sorry, guys. See, when you truly care and like someone because of all the things that you've been through, then you're able to stand up for that individual. Now you don't allow anyone to come in between that. And so for a teammate who has been with Ben Simmons, I'm just going off the top of my head, maybe 5+ years, you're going to throw your teammate under the bus.
Right.
Then you wonder why you guys haven't accomplished anything. What if Ben said, well, who turned the ball over where Gallinari got the dunk? What if Ben did that? Because it was Joel Embiid who turned the ball over, who's the go-to guy, who says he loves the game, who was, at the end of the game 2 years ago, sitting in someone's arms, boo-hooing. So when you start throwing darts, it doesn't stop. But what stops darts from being thrown is when you have someone's back.
That is Bruce Bowen, 3-time NBA champ, 5-time NBA All-Defensive First Team. His numbers up in the rafters, joining us here on the Blitz. Now, Bruce Bowen joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. For the entirety of the interview, go to ESPNSA.com. Catch up on all things Bruce Bowen. Hey, we're headed into the sunset. The Rangers going to try to string 2 wins together and take down those A's. We'll sum up Western Conference tomorrow. This has been the Blitz.
If your husband kisses a dog with more passion than you, it's time to make a change. Call the Divorce Dude with